You may want to listen up to this. As more people are working from home, some companies are turning to electronic surveillance to keep an eye on their employees' productivity. Prior to the pandemic, it was reported that several large corporations were using computer monitoring techniques to track workers' emails and social media messages. Now that the COVID pandemic has forced millions to work from home, employers are stepping up their techniques to make sure their staff are in fact working. Some software takes screenshots of workers' screens to share with managers. Other apps track an employee's GPS location via their phone. Employers say it's to manage productivity and make workflow improvements where necessary, but others say it's intrusive behavior. So we ask, is your boss spying on your computer simply going too far? Joining us now is consumer tech expert Sarah Evans. Hey, Sarah, thanks for joining us.
Hi, doctor. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we're hearing a lot about this term bossware. What is boss? Because bossing means, oh man, she is bossing, but this isn't the same thing. This is a different bossware.
Right. I like to, be the big boss, but this is really about watching your employees virtually on their work-related devices. That can be their computer or their smartphones, and it usually involves installing some sort of software or apps on the device that allows you to track whatever it is you're looking for.
Does this mean that it has to be a device that the work has issued to you, like a phone or a computer? Or can it be your own device, your own phone or computer that you have put work software on? What are the barriers of entry for this?
If it's a work-related device, they don't even have to disclose that is on there. If it's a personal-related device, they would have to ask you for your permission to download that on there. And typically, it really does only apply to those work-issued devices.
Talk about types of jobs that are likely to use bossware. What kinds of jobs fall in that category?
A lot of times it can be found with knowledge workers. Think accountants, engineers, customer service fields, and those with access to sensitive information. If you are a doctor, so you know HIPAA and healthcare, those would be really appropriate fields.
What about the situations where you're on your own computer and you're doing a work Zoom? Do they have the right to monitor that, or are they even able to monitor that, or do they need to put software actually on your device?
If you are using Zoom, it can do eye tracking to see if you have disengaged from the camera for about 40 seconds. And if you're using any sort of messenger device or email that is given to you by work, they can actually check that and get access to it because it's still work-related messaging.
So are there ways to work around this surveillance?
You can. In fact, I read really like a diary entry of an employee who went public with what it was like to be under the surveillance software. And they started looking at things like their phone was tracking their GPS, so they knew if they were out of the house, it was appearing as though they weren't productive, so they left their phone at home. As smart as the technology is, even 9-year-olds can be smarter than it. My son does Google Meets from home, and he figured out that he could freeze his face during the class session to make it appear as though he was still looking at the camera. He has been since told not to do that, and I did applaud his creativity, but told him he has to pay attention. And I know of other people who have left up some sort of like Google Doc or something that the employer could see to make it appear as though they're spending time in a productivity app when they were really spending time doing something.
What are some things that you really should not do in these situations?
One thing is just using common sense. If you wouldn't have sent it when you were in the physical workspace, don't send it from your home office or home desk. Number two, that NSFW, if it falls under the not suitable for work category, make sure you're not sending it. Extreme web browsing. If you find you're easily distracted and going off and surfing, you're not being paid on your job to go to those sites. Dating apps and resources like that, again, you should be doing on your personal time would really fall under that category.
Thank you so much, Sarah Evans, for joining us.
Thank you.